You feel almost a draft from the other side of the room. As Einherjar takes the first steps in, you see this gigantic empty room. Concrete all over. And in the middle of it, a gigantic circle drawn in a strange shape. Einherjar just stands there for a while, takes a deep breath. And goes forth a bit more, before calling out to all of you. Okay, kids, please enter the combat room.
Melora grabs May by the arm again and looks at her a bit worried. I'm a bit nervous.
Oh, you'll do great, I'm sure. I mean, you're really good.
Oh no, I'm not like you. I mean, you can actually do stuff. I can't really do much.
Girls, don't be worried. I can say that this place is literally the safest place in this entire school. Just come along. It won't be any problem, and hey, this is the first day and you're all here for a reason. It will be fine. And he happily almost skates upon the ground before entering and just waiting everyone in. Stella looks to you and says what he said, and quickly goes inside as well. No guts, no glory.
May squeezes Melora's hand. You'll do fine, I'm sure. And hey, your powers are amazing. Don't put yourself down like that.
Thanks, May. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here too, Mo. Now let's kick ass!
Let's do it!
Please enter the facility so I can close the door. Thank you. And soon after you enter, Dave closes the door and stands in one of the corners. Einherjar looks you all over and starts addressing you. So kids, welcome to the combat room. In here we will be having most of our power training and half of our combat exercises. Before you ask, this entire room is lined with a super concrete. It's extremely hard to damage, and even if you do, it will automatically repair itself given the time. Also, this giant circle in the middle, it is not dangerous. In fact, this is what you would call a soul trap. If by some miracle of a chance you were to be fatally wounded, your souls will be trapped in the body for an extended moment of time. In that time, we will be completely able to repair your body to function before removing you from the circle. As said, it's not something we strive for, but it's always good to be prepared.
May leans closer to Melora. You think someone has died here?
I don't know, but I don't really think I want to find out.
As you speak, Ea-nasir takes a few steps beside you. Well, there was this one person, a bright student. He was here training with a modicum of power, nothing special. But one day, a terrible accident happened. Oh, it was so horrible. I mean, blood everywhere. But he was trapped here. But he did see a vision. A vision of a land covered in ice and snow. And in that land, a single flower. Almost made as crystal. A beautiful flower. And as he picked it up, it merged with him, became part of his soul. Becoming much stronger than before. His powers grew. And then he became one of the top students of his entire school. That is something to think about. And he silently takes a few steps back from you.
He's really good at telling stories.
I'm not sure I get the metaphor.
Well, not me either, but it sounded good. Don't you think?
Nasir, if you're done telling stories, I think we should move forward in this. Okay. Okay, everyone. This might come as a shock or sudden, but we're going to have a combat scenario here today.
What?
It will not be as bad as you might think, but okay, let me take it from the top. You see, oftentimes as heroes, we have a duty to protect and ensure that no one gets hurt in a battle. That includes our opponent as well, not just bystanders and ourselves. The best possible scenario is that no one is hurt after, well, an incident. And that's why we're here today. All of you have powers of some kind, but most of you do not know the other's power in any kind of way. This is a scenario for both you and the older students. You're going to face an opponent who you do not know the powers of at all. You're going to subdue them in, well, the ways you can, and make sure that no one is gravely hurt. This means that you cannot go full out. You need to read your opponent, see what they can do, weigh them out. And then when you have a proper visual of what they can handle and what you can handle, then you take the opportunity to strike. This is how we operate as heroes. We do not go as a blunt instrument, and you see him give a little bit of a glare towards Elspeth before continuing. We work as a scalpel. We need a control. All the strength and power in the world means nothing if you're facing someone that would be obliterated with a single punch. If you're strong enough to break entire buildings, you should be able to control that strength so you do not cause untold collateral damage. This is the work of a hero. This is the work you're supposed to have. Do you understand the purpose of this assignment? It's very important you do.
Yes, sir!
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, then, I will be teaming you up. Let's see. You in the mask. You're home run, right?
Yeah.
You'll be teaming up with... You. What's your name? And he points towards May.
Me? It's May.
May. You and Home Run will be a team. Okay?
Alright, cool.
Yes, sir.
Good. Next one will be you, and he points at Mack. And you, he points at Melora.
Like we're the same team!
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry, Melora. If anything starts getting out of hand, I'm here.
Thanks, Mac.
And since we only have one left of the students, Emiko, I'll be assisting you, but I will do minimal assisting. I want you to show what you can do. Yes, sir! Not sir. Anal works fine. Okay, I'll be assigning sparring partners. Let's see. May and Home Run. You'll be fighting Elspeth. And Melora and Mack. You'll be fighting Ea-nasir. And Emiko, you and me will be fighting Stella. Well then, does any of you have any preference who will go first? No one? Well, if there's no volunteers, I gladly put myself in the starter round. Maybe I can show them how the hero course works. I mean, there's a first time for everything. He looks back to both Melora and Mack. It will be an honor to see what you can do today, and I hope I live up to your expectations.
Melora looks at Mac. I guess it's good to go first, right?
I guess if you're nervous, it's better to just get it over with quickly.
That's the spirit! Let's get going! And Ea-nasir starts moving towards the circle.
Teach, is it okay if I do a little pre-engagement talk with my teammate?
Take your time.
Yes. Melora, let's go a little bit to the side.
Okay.
Mack starts putting on a game face. Okay, Melora. I know the teach said that we should fight an opponent without knowing what his power is, but it's still good to try to suss out any information we have. Do you have any intel on the guy? I saw you talking to him.
Oh, yeah. I know that he uses ice. I saw that this morning. So, I do know that, but I don't think I know a lot of other things about him.
Okay. There is a good chance he at least suspects what parts of my power is, if he knows who my brothers are. So I would say that it's probably better if I am the prime engager and you are our secret weapon. Because you are a wild card in his mind.
Okay, but, what do you want me to do? Subdue him?
We're not supposed to hurt him. So trying to subdue him without injuring is the correct thing to do. I do not know how his ice powers might interact with your own water form. So it might...
No, you have a point. I don't know either. I haven't really been in that situation.
Yes, but if the assignment is mutual, then he isn't supposed to injure us either. So I don't think he will try to freeze you to death while you were part of water or something.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Yeah. You ready?
As ready as I will be.
Mack puts his hand on Melora's shoulder. You'll do fine.
Thanks, Mac. It feels good to have you as my teammate.
I feel the same way.
Now let's kick some butts.
Exactly. Hey Teach, we're ready now.
Wonderful, just step into the ring. Hey guys, this will be your first fight here at the school, right? Ha! Let's have some fun. Show each other what we can do. And no hard feelings when I totally beat you in like 5 seconds.
Mack lets out an awkward laugh. Yeah, totally. This is our first fight at school. Yeah, totally.
Good to hear.
Melora leans closer towards Mac.
I mean, technically we wasn't at school when the fight occurred.
Well, good to hear that you're ready. And he stamps his foot upon the ground, and all of a sudden, ice starts appearing all around you, encapsulating you from moving.
Melora notices the ice coming towards her, and she quickly jumps out of the way, turning into her gaseous form.
Mack looks down upon his rapidly freezing feet with a nonchalant look. Look back to Melora to see if she has escaped. Then spreads both of his hands out. He's saying, "Guess how much I weigh right now?" And claps his hand together, creating a shockwave and one roaring thunder, shattering the ice covering his feet.
The ice shatters before you, but quickly seems to rebuild, and you take that opportunity to get yourself out of harm's way. The pillar of ice is still growing, showing no sign of restraint or anything, and you cannot really see any movement after that stomp in the ground that indicates that he controls it. But he still seems to do.
Mack sidestepping the rapidly growing ice. Tries to, while still keeping a distance, trying to analyze his opponent, trying to figure out what makes this person tick and how his powers exactly work.
You take a good, long, analytical look at Ea-nasir, and it strikes you that, damn, this guy's really small and really thin. And given this surprise attack out of nowhere, you do guess that he's more of a battlefield controller, maybe ranged combatant primarily. You do believe if you get close and personal, you might be able to take him out by just being bigger and stronger than him. Playing the ranged game seems to be his area.
Melora in her vaporous form quickly makes her way towards Ea-nasir. As she stands behind him, she quickly tries to embrace him, turning into her iceous form.
As the ice circles all around Ea-nasir, trapping him in place, he sighs out and chuckles. Oh dear, I am the master of ice. And you just chose the wrong medium to fight. And without even moving, you feel yourself losing control completely, sending you through the entire battlefield, landing almost broken, pieces of you falling off, a heavy damage, and you begin to panic. Oh my god, you've never been this hurt before. It's... Oh my god. Did I just lose my hand? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and everything starts to overwhelm, and all of a sudden, all of you starts hearing a shrieking shrill inside your heads, like a banshee invading your brain, crushing your very minds, and all of a sudden, both Mack and Ea-nasir falls to the ground and screams in pain. Inhalia sees this development and screams, "Shit!" Looks to both to everyone and everything that's happening, and sees Mel and starts running towards her. And as soon as he steps inside the circle, you see him cringing in pain, but still runs towards her. And he suddenly puts his arm around her and starts saying, it's okay, you'll be fine, there's nothing wrong here, you'll be fine. Calm down, everything is fine. Listen to me breathe. And he starts breathing slowly, up and down, and you feel yourself getting more and more control over yourself, and slowly the feeling subsides. Your hand and body start materializing again. But instead of flesh, the hand turns to water and slowly makes its way up towards your hand and reforms again. You're starting to feel calm, but it is a worried calm. An uncomfortable calm, but it's still there. The panic is still there, but not overwhelming anymore. Both Mack and Ea-nasir lies on the floor, breathing heavily, seeming almost knocked out, but they slowly begin to rise themselves up, drooling a little bit from both of their mouths.
Mel quietly looks up at Einherjar and then just continues to stare almost absentmindedly forwards.
He takes a deep breath and asks you, "Is it okay if I carry you?"
She doesn't answer.
He feels out and see if there's any resistance if he tries.
She lets him.
He softly carries you up, look to the other two boys, takes a deep breath and says, "You two, fight is over. And this is the reason why we train this way. There's a reason why we do this inside here. So it doesn't happen outside. The experience you have here, they're fine. It happens. Do not worry too much. You two, gather yourself and take yourself to the nursery together with Dave. I will talk with the other student. Okay? Yes, sure, sir. I'll go to the nursery for now. Mac, can I stand?
Mac, lumbering with wobbling legs, walks not towards the nurse, but towards Ea-nasir and Melora.
He silently waits for you to act, but keeps a wary eye.
Are you okay?
Melora just looks back at him, but she doesn't answer.
Ea-nasir looks to Mac and says, "Give her some time."
Max reaches out a hand that is visibly shaking. He pulls it back and hesitates for a second. Takes a deep breath. But with a sure hand instead, reaches forward, putting it on the same shoulder he put it on at the start of the fight, and says, "It's okay. We all lose some control sometime." I said I would be the point man, and I hesitated for a moment, and I'm sorry I put you in that danger.
As you look up to Mac, the sudden movement of your head, as controlled by his feelings, Mac winces a little bit where he stands. He doesn't want to, he can't control it, but it happens, and Melora sees it. The fear and uncertainty, just for a second, inside Mac's eye. Melora should really go to the nurse's office. I suggest you follow shortly. Ea-nasir, take Mac and put him to the sideline. Will be returning soon. Yeah, sure thing, boss. And Ea-nasir takes a few steps towards Mac and says, "Hey, let's go to the sidelines, okay?"
In a little while, I just want to make sure she gets out okay.
Ea-nasir takes a few steps closer and starts whispering into your ear, and waits a little bit until Melora and Ea-nasir has moved a little bit out of reach. "Man, listen to me. What she did right now, she had no control over. But you are not in a position right now to try to comfort her. Steady yourself first. If you go to her now, you will look like her victim, and she will just feel worse. Take the time until you can handle this yourself. Then you can speak to her. Until then, you will probably just make it worse. Okay?"
Mac looks at this smaller man than himself, and with a swiftness that you wouldn't expect on his still wobbling feet, he delivers a punch right to the face of this man.
Your fists hit with a resounding thud as Ea-nasir falls to the ground, scraping a bit along the floor. And when he looks up to you, you expect to see some kind of rage or anger or anything. But it is not. He gives you another look. Pity.
Mac, fuming, looks at him with rage in his eyes and says, "Are you stupid?"
Ea-nasir takes a short breath, and you see ice forming beneath him, lifting him up from the ground so he can stand upright. The giant pillar in the middle of the room slowly withers away into nothing.
You used ice controlling power on a girl who was literally ice next to you. How could you know in any way how that power would affect her?
He looks you sharply in the eye. He sees Einherjer looking like he's about to intervene at any second. He looks back at Mack and says, I will tell you, but you must promise not to act in anger. Do not attack me or anything, or else this situation will be worse.
Mack does not answer, just staring at him.
And you see behind him, Stella, who is watching this, seems also to be somewhat fuming, seeming just to wait for an opportunity to jump in. And you see Ea-nasir giving them glances every now and then, and they stay their hand. And Ea-nasir takes a step forward, close to you, and whispers so no one hears. Because I cheated. I knew what both you and she could do. I know what all the first years can do. I knew about this thing. She will be fine. I didn't expect a mental breakdown though. He takes a step back and starts smiling like nothing happened. Now I need to make my leave before this situation gets any worse. Dreadful when things like this happens. It's almost like Phoenix the first time they tried to use their powers in a more flashy way. Happens at least once every time. Either way, I think I need some... Oh, I know. And you see an ice block forming in his hand as he puts it towards his shin where you punched him. Much better. Einherjer starts moving out from the circle and looks towards all of you and says, I expect you all to behave until I return. And he leaves the room and starts making his way to the nurse's office.
Mac, holy shit, are you okay?
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Oh shit, sit down. Can we get something? Get you something to drink or?
No, just give me a second, okay?
As you sit there, you notice Elspeth taking a few steps towards you. Still almost a scowl upon her face. And she rumbles through her bag and puts down a water bottle beside you and says, if you throw up, clean your mouth with this so you don't have to have it all the day. And she just goes back and leaves you there with May.
So she is secretly nice.
As you say that, she looks angrily towards you and takes a few steps further away.
Oh, sorry. She looks down at Mac again. But, like, can I get you a blanket or a bucket? Anything? A massage?
A massage would sound lovely, but not right now, okay?
You sit down and you see Dave, the nurse, come towards you, and he says, sit there for a moment, I just need to make something sure. And he starts taking your pulse, looking into your eye, doing a few snaps, and says, boy, you're in shock right now. Your body is fighting you at this moment. Try to stay calm and breathe heavy breaths. Follow me.
No, it's okay, Doc. This is my first time on the rodeo.
First time or 100th time? You need to take care of yourself. With that, he rises up and goes towards Ea-nasir, and seems to do the same thing to him. The long silence seems to agitate some. You especially see Emiko kinda shuffling around, not really knowing what she should or would do, and she seems very anxious or agitated. She just can't stand still, it seems like. And just as she is about to go towards Mack, the nurse comes and puts his hand on her shoulder and silently shakes his head. You can't help right now. Give him time.